Welcome to the Art of Classiness podcast, a show where we redefine what it means to be a classy lady. And sometimes it's messy. I'm Robin.
And I'm Deborah, two friends turned classy ladies who are here to discuss life's ups and downs, navigating the complexities of adulthood, and how the gift of friendship is essential to belonging.
Today we're leaning all the way into the messy side. We're sharing some of our most embarrassing stories, plus a few from our other classy ladies who were brave enough to write in.
Because sometimes the best way to bond is by swapping the moments you'd rather forget. And honestly, we have all been there. From bathroom disasters to unexpected karma, it's a ride.
So follow along, give us your feedback, and don't forget to like and subscribe. What's up, classy ladies and gentlemen? Deborah, let's do a check-in. How are you?
I am great. And I am proud to say that you and I are now the hosts of a 2-time award-winning podcast.
Yes!
What up? Air horn.
You're so good with the air horns.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So this past weekend, I attended PopCon Indy. And I went there because we had submitted our podcast for their podcast awards. Not really knowing anything about the event. There was just a call for entries, and we thought, you know what? Why not? Why not us? So we submitted. They had a bunch of categories. So I was able to go. Indianapolis is only 3 hours away from Columbus. So I represented the pod, and we walked away with 4 nominations and 2 wins. And the wins were for Best Comedy Podcast and Best Intro. How about that?
How about that?
It was a whirlwind experience. We found out relatively, not that long ago.
6 days before the event, I got an email.
Yeah. So thankfully, I don't have a life. And so I'm like, I'll go. And I have never been to a convention like that, like a cosplay convention. PopCon to me is very similar to Comic-Con. I guess. I don't want to misrepresent what it was, but there were vendor opportunities. There were a lot of tabletop games you could play. There were rooms dedicated to actual video game competitions. They had themed escape rooms, like a Warlock escape room and a Krampus escape room.
Oh, okay.
There was also a mini film festival, and I was able to watch 3 entries for their comedy shorts. And then went up to the award ceremony and, we didn't even know what categories we were nominated in. They just said, you're finalists.
Yep.
For one or multiple categories.
Yep.
So we thought, cool. And I was floored when they called our name for Best Comedy Podcast because a lot of people there were multiple time winners. So didn't really know, this being the first one, if our podcast was going to land with that audience, and was really happy that it did. And I took a little video, which we'll share on our socials. Thankfully, I asked the person in front of me, can you just record my acceptance speech, please? And they did.
Aww.
And at the end, I was starting to cry. And I'm like, I got to get out of here. It was too much. It was all hitting me because, this has been such a passion project for us. And it just feels really good to have just that little bit of recognition that we're doing a good job and we stand out among peers. So, yeah, I'm just elated.
Your acceptance speech was amazing.
Thank you.
I couldn't have done that good of a job.
It felt really good to be up there.
Aw. Yay!
Yeah.
And you did an arts and crafts project. You made a cool t-shirt.
I sure did. Once we launch merch one day, that's got to be on there.
Oh, for sure.
It says Classy AF. And it is the same design as the thank you grocery bags. And I love it so much. I felt like people were reading it and smiling because it's really funny to see Classy AF,
Yeah.
just plastered across my chest. It was great.
Yay. Well, I'm so glad you went and represented us. What an honor.
What an honor. I know.
We're just this little podcast. So to get recognition is such a big deal. And a reminder that even though we don't have as many listening ears as we would like right now, we're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the path.
We're on that path. So tell everybody that you listen to an award-winning podcast.
That's right.
Because you do.
Yay!
What about you, Robin? What is going on with you?
Well, Seth and I went on an adventure back to Austin, Texas last week.
That's right.
And by golly, that heat and humidity really slaps you in the face.
Really does.
Seth took 3 showers in one day.
Wow.
We were miserable.
Mm-hmm. And you endured that for so long.
Yeah. Well, and because we're visiting, we were always had somewhere to be versus living there where you're just hiding inside.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to be outside a lot, going from place to place, getting inside of hot cars, having to take Penny out. I wouldn't shut up about how miserable I was.
Oh my gosh.
And then we get back to Bend and I'm like, I
can breathe.
I could breathe. I'm going to go sit outside with my coffee this morning because I fucking can.
Mm-hmm.
But the visit to Austin was great itself. Got to catch up with some friends, and Seth and his brothers threw his parents a 50th anniversary party.
Wow, 50 years.
Yeah. And the day of the party was the same day as our 1-year anniversary, which how cute is that?
Oh, that is cute.
Yeah. So that was a really nice evening, and my mom and her boyfriend drove up, and a couple of my other friends came. So
oh,
we were really kind of meshing our families a bit, just like at our wedding.
As you should. That's so great.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a really nice visit. I am very happy with our decision to not spend another summer in Austin. As much as I love it, I don't love the summer.
They just keep getting hotter and hotter.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a successful trip. We had a good time.
That's so great.
So today, we are sharing some of our most embarrassing stories. We sent the bat signal out to some of our classy ladies, and we're lucky enough to get a few submissions. They are going to remain anonymous. However, Deborah and I will let you know which stories are ours.
Yeah, Robin and I are also going to be incriminating ourselves today because that is, to me, the best part of friendship.
100%.
You can be every single version of yourself around these people, including the messiest, most unhinged, maybe drunkest, maybe most hysterical, all of those versions of yourselves. And chances are your best friends have bore witness to your most embarrassing moments. So we thought, why don't we share some of these in our episode today? And there are some of the stories that our friends have shared that I have purposely not read yet, because I want to hear them for the first time. Or I'm wondering if I know them off the top of by hearing them, if I recognize some of these stories. But I'm just really excited to just bear it all,
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
I guess I'll start.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it, Robin.
Okay, this is my personal story. And I'm going to lead with when this happened. I think I was 23. I swore to myself that no one would ever find out about this.
Can I just say, I remember you telling me this story, and it was under the premise of, I don't ever want to talk about this again.
Yeah. Even when I told you, I think that was 5 years later. I think 5 years passed before I felt comfortable telling a few people. And then more time passed, and it just got funnier. I was like, you know what? I don't even care anymore. And that's what happens the older you get. You just don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm. Let them know.
So the title of this story is, I fell asleep at a Cowboys game, and that wasn't even the worst part. I can't believe I'm sharing this.
Let's do it, baby.
Okay, so it's 2009, 2010-ish. It's a brand new Cowboys stadium in Dallas. So it's either the year it opened or the year after. I can't quite remember. My boyfriend at the time was working out of state, and he flew into Dallas so we could catch this game together before he headed down to Austin with me. Now, let me set the stage. I had just finished a 12-hour server shift at Fido. Okay. I didn't get off till 3 a.m. It was a football game on a Sunday, which means I worked a Saturday night shift. Okay.
Yeah.
I had to leave for Dallas 4 hours later.
Oh.
I got off at 3. I had to leave 4 hours later. I was sleep deprived, running on fumes, and I didn't really eat anything for breakfast. Because what do we do in our 20s, Live life on the edge. That's what.
Mm-hmm.
So I pick him up. We check in at the Sheraton Hotel, which is walking distance to the stadium. And we head down to the bar to get into the spirit.
No, you went to the bar so the spirits could get into you.
Yes, pun intended. So we each got a beer and a shot of tequila. And then I was like, oh, I should eat. So guess what we did? We split a sandwich. Why? I don't know why, but let this be a cautionary tale. If you're day drinking and sleep deprived, you split nothing when it comes to food, okay?
No, get your own damn sandwich.
Yeah. So we get to the stadium. The drinks are flowing. We're vibing. Life is good. Eventually the game starts. And sometime maybe around, I think it was the third quarter, I honestly don't remember, I get up to go to the restroom, which was very close to our seats, okay? This is when things take a turn. I sit down to pee, and then I fell asleep. I just slowly leaned against the stall wall and fully out cold in a stadium bathroom. But hey, it was a new stadium. Pretty clean bathrooms.
Okay. All right. Sure.
So apparently, my boyfriend was outside the women's room asking strangers to go in and check on me. And whenever someone tried to open my stall door, I'd mumble something like, someone's in here, giving like just enough intel, I guess, to let them know, even if it was me, that I'd probably be out soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wrong. Completely wrong. Okay. So eventually I fully come to. I realize what happened, get up, wash my hands, and then I walk into a completely empty stadium. The game is over. The fans are gone. I have no phone, no money, no idea what time it is, and I'm still very, very drunk. Panic sets in. I do notice there's still people there. Like, it's 100,000 people stadium. So like, there's still a lot of people around. So like, I get outside and I start asking random strangers if I can borrow their phone to call my boyfriend. But I keep misdialing his number, which I later figured out. I had like 2 numbers that I flipped. So I'm panicked, I'm lost, and I'm an absolute mess. I asked this couple passing by if they know how to get to the Sheraton Hotel, and they do not. But they also say, but stop walking this way, because apparently it wasn't safe in that direction.
Oh, great.
Cool. So I turn around and start walking the other way. I run into this group of huge dudes, I don't know, 4 or 5 dudes, grabbing a cab. And I'm like, hey, can I share this cab with you? I don't know why. I don't know where they're going. I don't have cash. And I didn't even think to explain my situation and do something simple like asking if they could take me to the fucking Sheraton Hotel.
Yeah.
I just climbed in like some kind of yes woman. Let's go.
Take me. I'm yours now.
I think we had a good time. I remember cracking jokes. I probably said something hilarious and charming. I'm going to choose to remember it was delightful.
Yeah.
Until the cab stops and everyone's hopping out in front of this massive parking lot. And instead of being honest, again, about my no wallet situation, I do the mature thing and start running like a full-on drunken sprint through an empty parking lot. Just me and my shame and my knee-high boots.
My God.
I can hear them laughing in the distance, maybe yelling obscenities, I don't know. I never turned around. I can't. This story's still going.
It's just, you've made every wrong decision. It's like a horror movie where you're like, just get in the car.
Yes.
Or just do the thing. And oh my God.
So I eventually realized this giant parking lot is the Six Flags parking lot. I found this group of young teenagers. They were waiting in the back of a truck bed, waiting for their mom. And I asked one of the kids if I could borrow his phone. I dial my boyfriend's number. Wrong. Again. And then the teenage genius says, why don't you call your own phone?
Kids.
Fucking brilliant. So smart. So I called my own phone. But guess what? My phone was dead. Of course it is. So then I ask, hey, do you guys know where the Sheraton Hotel is? And the kid goes, you mean that building over there with the giant S on it? I turn around. I'm like, yep, that's the one.
Oh my God.
So there's my hotel looming above me, like this glowing reminder that I made every wrong decision possible today. Every wrong decision.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still like across the highway because of the cab I took.
Oh.
Like, I have no idea how I've gotten where I am. So the mom finally gets back, here's my situation, and kindly agrees to give me a ride. Honestly, I could not have gotten luckier. She was so sweet. We all pile into the truck like a freaking clown car. I'm like squeezed into the back. And she drives me to the side entrance of the hotel. I thank them profusely and start walking in, just hoping I can sneak into my room unnoticed. I don't know why I thought that. I didn't have a room key. But as I'm passing the staff smoke break area, one guy looks at me and goes, "Hey, are you Robin?" I froze. I was like, yeah. He just smiles at me and goes, "Girl, you are in trouble. You better get inside."
Oh, no.
I'm like, fuck. Apparently, and this makes sense, my boyfriend had been going back and forth between the hotel and the stadium for hours. He'd gotten security involved. He'd called the police. Obviously, he thought something terrible had happened to me. Honestly, same.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I get inside, I walk up to the front desk, and I'm like, "Hi, I'm Robin." I can't tell you how much shame I felt in that moment. I get the aha look of understanding from the hotel manager. He has pieced together what has happened here.
Oh.
And they kindly assist my walk of shame back to my hotel room. I get to the room, and, they call my boyfriend to let him know that I'm safe. He's heading back to the hotel. So while I'm waiting, I think it's a bright idea to rent a movie and crack open another beer. Because what is wrong with me?
You know what? In for a penny, in for a pound.
Drink some fucking water, Robin. So then my boyfriend, he bursts into the room, fucking furious. Probably partially mad at me, but mostly because he was terrified. And I totally get it, but in the moment, I was still so drunk that I couldn't explain any of it in a way that would have made sense. Like, he was probably kind of drunk too. Like, we were both just upset.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to explain my side. Like, it was very scary for me. Like, it's a funny story to tell, but in the moment, I was scared.
Yeah.
It's not like I meant to fall asleep in a fucking bathroom stall. Like, that's embarrassing in itself.
Mm-hmm.
I could have just told that story. That's embarrassing, but let's keep going.
Let's add all the things. Why stop there?
Somehow, he didn't break up with me right then and there. But let's just say I learned a thing or two about alcohol tolerance. I have no idea who won that game, who the Cowboys were even playing. It was money well spent, let me tell ya. Moral of the story, know your limits. Don't split the sandwich. And maybe, just maybe, don't take a nap mid-pee in a stadium bathroom. How did we survive our 20s? I'll never know.
How did we? I mean, I'm trying to think of this from your ex's perspective. And yeah, like, human trafficking happens at these kind of events. Like, what do they say at the Super Bowl? It's like the highest time of the year that, like, people get human trafficked.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Super Bowl, like any big final game where you have so many people traveling to one location, it's like a very vulnerable time for like youth or just, we could do an entire sad episode about all the dangers of that. But so I would be so terrified that you had gotten like kidnapped, like legitimately taken.
Absolutely.
Taken. The movie Taken was probably out around this time. So he was probably like, get fucking Liam Neeson here. My girlfriend just got taken.
So true. So true.
But I also understand that visceral need to sleep, not only when you're tired, right? We all know when you're like sleepy through a class lecture or a boring meeting, but when you're tipsy alone, when you're fucking wasted and you're like, I'm just going to close my eye for a few seconds and go sleep.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like you need it. Your body's like, give in, submit.
Dude, and I really want to know, like, how long of a nap was that? If it was the third quarter, that was at least an hour.
An hour.
At least.
Oh, my God.
And what if it wasn't the third quarter? What if I went the second quarter? That means 2 hours. It was too long. It was a long time.
That's, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And when you are drinking and sleep deprived and not fed, it's like, yeah, you're just not giving your brain what it needs to make good decisions. Like the fact that a teenager was like, call your own phone. It's like, duh, that's so obvious. But you know what? Your ex should have charged your phone. He should have charged it, just saying.
I mean, I'm sure he was in full panic mode.
I'm sure he was too. Yeah. Yeah.
And I knew his number. I knew his freaking number. I had 2 numbers flipped. I just kept dialing those same numbers because I was drunk.
And what year was this? Tell me again. 2009?
2009 or 2010.
Okay, so we are very early in smartphones at this time.
Yeah, like I did not have an iPhone. I remember it was a Samsung. It was a smartphone, but
yeah,
it still took like 2.0 megapixel pictures.
Right. And you weren't using your phone for the internet unless you absolutely had to. The pages would take forever to load. It was not very intuitive. Like,
yeah,
this was a very different time. Otherwise, you would have just like had your location on or something. Like, you would have had so many other ways if that had happened today.
Yeah. It had my Apple Watch.
Yeah. Like, boom, she's in the bathroom. She's still in the bathroom. Like,
yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, there are a million ways we could have died. There's so many ways we could have died.
I mean, I wish he had just walked into the bathroom himself. Like, I get why he didn't, but this would have all been avoidable if he just walked in and, the fuck, Robin? And we could have just had an argument about that.
You could have still not woken up, though. I mean, it sounds like people were trying to knock on the stall,
But he knew what I was wearing. Like, he could have looked under the stall and seen my boots and my pasty-ass legs.
Yeah. You know what? This is his fault.
No, he should have broken up with me. Like, I'll admit it.
Mm-hmm.
That was breakup worthy.
Okay, well, my story also involves alcohol and bad decisions and a lot of clumsiness. Side note, did you ever watch Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember when they would tell their scary stories and
yes.
Submitted for the approval. And then they would throw something into the fire and it was like, yes, the witch's claw. Okay. Submitting for the approval of the classy ladies of Classiness Society. I'm going to call my story Where the Good Lord Split Ya.
Oh, I have not heard this story in full, so I am very excited.
Okay, so I grew up south of Detroit in Michigan on an island in between Michigan and Canada. Much, much, much closer to Michigan than Canada, but trying to evoke 𝗂𝗵𝗶𝘀 energy, like I could see Canada from my house, okay? Like legit growing up. And the thing about Canada is you can drink at 19 there. So growing up and having access to boats, like a lot of my friends' families had boats, like in the summer, you could just cross into Canada. You would call immigration and be like, I'm here. And they would give you like a check-in number.
Oh.
And then you could go and use a fake ID at like a bar and drink. Like that was a very common thing that people would do.
Things used to be so casual back then.
So casual. So you could drink in Canada when you're 19 years old. So this made it much easier for us, especially right after college, like that summer after freshman year when like you're so used to just being able to go out and about and now like you're stuck at home living with your parents. Really easy for us to be like, we're going to Windsor for the night because Windsor is right on the other side of Detroit. On this particular occasion, we had someplace to stay because I was in a relationship with my Canadian, as I like to call him, my Canadian ex-boyfriend. Okay. So we were in a relationship. So obviously I was spending a lot of time in Windsor and we decided to go out and I brought my friend Leah and I believe her boyfriend at the time also came. We also ran into other high school friends that night who were out and about. So it was like, everybody's here, gang's all here, let's go. And we went to some bar. It was definitely more like a club. And I am like not a club girly. I never really have been, but I just think the adrenaline of running into high school friends, coming back from college, it was like, let's go dance. Let's go dance. So we're at this club. We're getting litty AF. Okay. And I remember going to the bar with my girlfriends and we wanted to order shots, but I can't stress to you enough. My experience with drinking, the majority of the time leading up to this point was whatever anybody had. Okay. Because it was normally like at a house party, at somebody else's parents' basement. You know what I mean? So it's like, whatever you have that I can get drunk off, I will drink. I didn't have preferences or standards, and I didn't know what I was doing. Truly no concept of like what to drink. The goal was to get wasted. I didn't care how I got there. So we go up to order shots, and he's like, what do you want? We ordered shots of Absolute Mandarin, as is, just up.
Oh my goodness.
Not chilled, not with a splash of anything. So we do straight up shots of Absolute Mandarin. The bartender looked as confused as you are. Like, what? What do you mean? And we're like, sure, that sounds fun. Thinking it'll be like an orange juice. No, Absolute Mandarin is like hint of orange.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like not prevalent. So we do these shots, immediate regret. But now we're ready. We're loose. We're ready to go. So there is this stage, what I would call a series of platforms, okay? So it's like one big square block, and then on top and adjacent over it is like another square block. There's like 3 different tiers all kind of stacked awkwardly across each other, right?
Okay.
So a lot of steel corners on this stage, okay?
Okay.
And we're sitting there, we're dancing away, we're having a good time. And one of my friends who's on the 3rd platform pulls me up, and I get on the stage and I just like kind of turn enough where now I'm dizzy, and I don't really know where I am. And I lose my footing. And instead of putting my feet on the stage, I missed it to the other side of the corner and I fell right where the good Lord split you. Just high up. Just slammed the whole lady bit right onto the corner of this stage and then just fell onto the floor like a sack of potatoes.
Oh.
Just foomp, ka, on the dance floor.
Oh my God.
Hard, Robin. Hard.
Oh.
So I'm laying on the floor and my first rational thought is I don't want to get kicked out for being too drunk. Like immediately, like trying to sober up, like, no, bouncers, I'm fine. I just
slipped.
Which is exactly what I did. I was like, I slipped up there and they're like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Just pure adrenaline coursing through my veins. And as soon as that wears off, the pain really sets in. And I am full of fear. And I'm like, I gotta go check this situation out. I'd gone to the bathroom, and when I tap it with some tissue paper, it reveals a little bit of blood.
Okay.
I know it's not my period, but I'm also like, maybe it's my period, but it wasn't my period. It's like if you had razor burn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it hurt like hell, but like, what are we going to do? We're already at the club. We're already there, right? So I power through. I'm like, I'm not going to be the reason we go home. Everyone's having a great time. And now at this point, it's like hard to walk. Okay. It's hard to walk.
Yeah.
And so we like make up you know how way back in the day, Saved by the Bell, if you ever watched Saved by the Bell, when Lisa Turtle sprained her ankle before like a big dance competition, she made up a dance called the Sprain, where she just was like on one leg and had her arms out. So we're like, it's like the sprain, but it's like the vag. Okay. So you're like dancing in a way where it was like I didn't have to like move around a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's finally time to get going. We got to get home. And I barely remember the walk home. I just remember passing out and waking up with I was in so much pain. And I'm breathing Absolute Mandarin, just hot alcohol breath. You know, when you wake up and you're like, oh no, this hangover is going to punch me in the face right now. And we're all just wrecked, right? People have been sleeping on the couch, on the floor. My boyfriend's apartment at that time was very small. So I'm like shocked at how many people had stayed there that like we didn't get him evicted. So the guys get up and they're like, we're going to pick up Tim Hortons. We'll get you some breakfast, you know. And I'm laying there with my friend Leah. And I'm like, Leah, we got it. I need you to check to see how bad it is. I need you to tell me how bad it is. And so I lay on the bed and I open my legs up to her. And she says, move your underwear. And I said, I already did.
Oh my God.
I said I already did, Robin, because I was so bruised that it wasn't even clocking to her that it was human flesh that she was looking at.
Oh, wow. Oh.
And that is when I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do. And from what I could see, I could tell that I had a cut on the inner left lip.
That's where that little spotting.
That's where the spotting was coming from. And so we go home. Okay. At this point, I know I do the sensible thing and I make an appointment for an OBGYN just to like make sure I don't get like a staph infection, you know, or that like I didn't do some real damage down there. Okay.
Yeah.
So I go and she looks at it and she goes, well, given the nature of the injury, I am also going to run some STD tests. And I'm like, no, I'm here. That's an injury. I fell. Like I'm not lying. Like,
yeah,
that's what that is. And she's like, I know, but it is a laceration. And just so we can rule everything out.
Were you wearing pants?
No. I was wearing a dress. There was nothing separating that stage from the goods.
So I get it. Yeah.
Right?
You check that. Oh my God, Debbie. Oh,
I know. So now I'm in a world of panic. Now there are things I didn't even know I was supposed to be worried about, right? What if I have HPV? What if I have herpes? What if I caught herpes on a stage? Who's going to believe that? Who's going to believe that? Like, what? So I am freaking out. And she's like, we should know between like 3 and 5 days. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like in disarray.
Longest 3 to 5 days of your life.
And like by day 3, I'm like calling the doctor's office. Like, please, you just have the results. Why aren't you telling me what's going on? And so they came back with the results. Clean as a whistle, not a drip. Okay. Good to go. No STDs.
Not a drip.
But here's the thing. I was on my parents' insurance.
Oh.
So they got the bill for a full evaluation running the whole gamut on every STD. And what you need to understand about my parents is they never had the sex talk with me. That's how conservative they were. The only sex talk I got was my dad telling me if he ever caught the person I was dating, if he ever caught us having sex, that he would hunt him down and hang him from a tree by his penis.
Oh my God.
That was the sex talk. Just don't do it. Okay. So for them to see that I was like, give me the whole kit and caboodle, please. Run them all. They were mortified. So now I have to tell them, no. Don't worry. I'm not a slut. I'm just a drunk. I'm just an idiot who was so wasted.
Did they believe that you fell on the stage?
I think I had to convince them. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I can show you. I had to convince them that like I wasn't just like whoring it up on the streets and needed an STD test. I'm like, I was trying to do the right thing and be healthy and make sure it all got checked out. So I think I got them to believe me, and I still have a scar to this day.
Oh, wow. And you've had 2 kids, so it didn't completely wreck your reproductive system.
No, thankfully. They were good. So yeah, that is how I broke my vagina in Canada. You're welcome.
Whew. Great story.
Thank you.
Wow. So there you have it, folks. Robin and Deborah at their finest.
There you go. Now you know us so much better. Now you know so much about us and why we are the way that we are.
Yes. And, it just goes to show like how much you can grow as a human over decades.
I know. I don't even drink anymore, and I'm basically a born-again virgin.
Yeah. Like, I had half a glass of wine last night, and I was like, this is disgusting. I don't want it. Who am I?
Look at us.
I was like, I want some ice cream. So I ate some ice cream instead. It's great. Okay. So we're moving on to our classy lady stories. And again, these are remaining anonymous to respect our classy ladies' privacy and privates.
Privates and privacy.
So this story is called The Midnight Crab Walk. And I'll be reading from a first-person perspective, but this is, again, not my story.
Okay. I have not heard this one, so I am set.
Okay, so this happened when I was in college, and I was dating this guy I was absolutely crazy about. Like hard eyes, butterflies, this is the one level of delusion. One night, we're out drinking with a bunch of friends, having a great time, and we ended up closing down the bar. It's late, like 2:30 a.m., and we're driving back to my place. We're maybe 5 or 10 minutes away when I suddenly realize my bladder is seconds away from betrayal. I try to hold it in. I really do, but it becomes very clear very fast that we're not going to make it. So I make him pull over into this random, totally empty strip mall. Everything's closed. It's pitch dark except for a few creepy street lamps, and I'm just praying there's a semi-private spot somewhere. I found a concrete pillar outside one of the stores. It's not huge, but in that moment, it felt like a beacon of hope. I duck behind it, yank my pants down, and start peeing. I'm trying to be as quick and careful as possible, but it's happening. The sweet release has begun. And of course, that's the moment a police car pulls into the lot. They park right next to where my boyfriend's car is. And suddenly, the spotlight starts sweeping the area like I'm in some low-budget prison break scene. Now here's the thing. Once I've started, there's no stopping. I can't just clinch and run, so I panic. And for reasons I'll never fully understand, my body decides the best course of action is to crab walk away from the light. That's right, hands behind me, butt off the ground, still peeing, crab walking around the other side of the pillar like some sort of urinating ninja. I'm literally dodging a police spotlight in the most undignified position imaginable.
Oh my God, yes.
I have no idea if they saw me. They ended up talking to my boyfriend. God bless him for keeping a straight face. And they drove off. I stayed crouched behind that pillar like a statue until I was sure they were gone. And then I did the walk of shame. Pants slightly damp, pride fully gone. Back to the car. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that mental image. And if you ever need more embarrassing pee stories, I've got a whole archive. Why does our body betray us like this?
It really does. Oh my gosh. See, I was wondering if she was going to accidentally pee all over her pants, right? Because that's so easy to do. And I'll give you a hot tip. Well, it's a hot tip, but it is not hot. If you really want to make sure that you don't like dribble down the sides of your legs or like accidentally pee on your pants, the best position is to literally like bend over, grab ankle style, and just let it shoot out the back.
I'm just visualizing that. You know what? If I had done that at the Cowboys game.
Yeah, you would never have fallen asleep. You may have passed out and hit your head, but
someone would have found me.
Someone would have found you.
Oh, that's good.
It's a visual you can't unsee, and I'm sorry.
I can't.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, and I'm like visualizing you doing it with your bruised vagina.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God bless it. That's so good. That's so good. Thank you, anonymous, classy lady, for sharing that story. That I think we've all been in a I have to pee right now situation.
100%.
And the odds of the cops showing up when they did is just absolutely wild. And of course they would.
Of course. Of fucking course.
Mm-hmm. Well, this seems to be a theme. I'm sensing a theme here, an accidental theme, because this next anonymous submission is called The Bidet That Betrayed Me. I'm just realizing that these are all like bathroom/private part stories. So what's more embarrassing than that, right?
It's true. We didn't even mean to make that the theme.
No, we didn't. Okay, here we go. So I was in college at SMU. You know, the very fancy, very rich school. Like monogrammed Range Rovers in the parking lot, sorority girls in pearls at 9 a.m., that level of rich. I was dating a guy who had a very, very rich friend, like his family owns half the state kind of rich, that everyone knew. One weekend, we traveled to his hometown. His family owned a bunch of retail stores in Oklahoma. So we were in one of those stores, and at the very back, there's a full-blown apartment. Not a break room with a sad microwave, an actual high-end apartment. Bedroom, kitchen, luxe furniture. Supposedly, the dad stayed there sometimes. Business reasons? Mistress reasons? I didn't ask. Definitely mistress reasons. I'm just going to go ahead and make a bold prediction there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're hanging out back, and he's showing off all this rich people decor. Everything looks like it came from a restoration hardware catalog, if the theme was power and secrets. Eventually, I have to pee. He points me to the bathroom, and I walk into what can only be described as 𝗵𝗂𝗁𝐺𝐻𝗃𝐿 powder room. Gold accents, a massive mirror, and next to the toilet, a bidet. Now, I'm 20. I've never used a bidet, especially not one in a secret luxury apartment attached to a retail store in Oklahoma. So after I pee, I kind of just stare at it. I lean over it. Because in my mind, when you turn on a bidet, it gently trickles like a serene spa fountain or a babbling brook, something calming. Instead, I barely turn the knob and immediately get sniped in the face by a frickin' fire hose. A full force blast of icy water hits me dead in the eye and launches into my hairline. I scream, not out loud, but in my soul. This water, this potentially doo-doo adjacent water, is now in my eye, my hair, probably my brain. It's inside of me now. I lunge for my mirror. My mascara is ruined. One eye looks like normal college student. The other looks like it's auditioning for a Tim Burton movie. And I can't use the hairdryer. That would be suspicious. Like, what is she doing in there that requires heat styling? So I grab a towel and start panic blotting. Like, that's going to erase what just happened. I'm dabbing at my face, trying to salvage the raccoon eye, and pressing into my scalp like I'm mopping up a crime scene no one can ever know about it. And again, I'm 20, which means the absolute worst thing that could happen to me is anyone thinking I was in there pooping. 100%. You've been in there too long.
Yep.
So now I'm not just wet, clumpy, and rattled. I'm rushing. Then I glance at the bidet, and I see it. Water dripping from the 12-foot ceiling. This thing didn't just get me, it got the room. There's ceiling water, there's hair water, there's mascara soup pooling under my eye. I did my best to pull myself together, and I walked out like nothing happened. But later, I'm thinking, who the hell sets up a day to fire hose? Who needs their butt that clean? That wasn't hygiene. That was something else. That was deliberate. That was a setting someone chose on purpose. Someone was doing experiments. Someone had a kink. And I was forever changed that day by the bidet. Dude, that is just...
And I'm just like wondering, like, your hair is wet. Like, how do you fix your mascara? How do you fix one raccoon eye?
No.
And then you walk out and act like nothing happened. I mean, I guess when you're that age, you have to just hope that everyone is so self-absorbed.
Right, that no one is thinking about you at all. Ugh. Like the length of time that you accidentally spend in a bathroom and that thought of like, they're going to think I'm pooping, that is so real.
Yep.
Like that is so real.
Yep. It's so funny.
Like you have spent entirely too much time in here and too much time has passed. You have to do something. You need to get out of here.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I've never used a bidet before.
I use a bidet every day.
Oh, really?
And it's the best. Yeah.
Oh.
You use way less toilet paper and it gets you clean in a way toilet paper can't.
I get it, but you're still using toilet paper to like dry yourself.
Yeah. You still use toilet paper, or at least I do.
Gotcha.
But you use a lot less.
Yeah.
Because it does the cleaning for you. It's life-changing. Seth hates it, but I love it. And I miss it when I don't have it.
Just go easy on the settings.
Yeah. Yes. Moving on. Our next story is called Karma Left Me a Voicemail. When I first started dating my now husband, I was also in the middle of a divorce. And while the actual split from my ex wasn't particularly messy, his mother had always been a lot. First, a little background. My ex-mother-in-law was kind of a bitch. She had a way of making passive-aggressive jabs and pretending it was just her being funny or real. She and I were never close, mostly because she always found ways to paint me in a bad light. I'm pretty sure that was fueled by my ex venting to her about me, but whatever. For example, at her own mother's funeral, she introduced me to someone as the girl who took her son away. I was like, okay. Tacky doesn't even begin to cover it. We were never close, and eventually I just avoided her altogether. Until one day, the universe handed me something I truly did not see coming. I had gone out to eat with my now husband, and I left my phone at the house. When I got back, I had a missed call and a voicemail from her. Naturally, I assumed it was more of the same, some judgmental dig or a weird guilt trip disguised as concern. But when I played the voicemail, it was not what I expected at all. Turns out, she had butt dialed me, probably because I was still at the top of her contact list. But here's the kicker. She butt dialed me while she was having sex with some random dude. I have the entire thing on audio, full moaning soundtrack, live commentary, background ambiance. It was vivid. To this day, I still have that recording saved, like a chaotic little trophy from the universe. I never told my ex, not because I was being noble, but because I knew he would never recover. Instead, I shared it with her niece, and we laughed until we cried. Petty? Maybe. Satisfying? Absolutely. But I've always kept that recording in my back pocket, just in case. Sometimes karma doesn't need help. Sometimes it just calls you and leaves a voicemail.
Okay, here's the thing. Robin and I heard.
Yep, she sent it to me.
We listened to it, and I felt super uncomfy.
I felt so uncomfy.
I will never listen to it again. I don't understand how that happens.
I don't either.
I was literally thinking it through. I don't understand. It wasn't even that muffled. Maybe she was like changing the song or something. I literally don't know how that would have happened. But then the part of me was like, did she do it on purpose?
Here's what I think. So I'm not sure how long ago this was, but it was at least 11 years ago, which means the older phones. So she might have had the one where it's still buttons. And it's a lot easier to make mistakes.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
It's harder to make those kinds of mistakes now.
Yeah, because you got lock screens, you got Face ID. It's way more intentional for sure. Oh my God. I mean, yeah, you can't unhear it, you guys. You can't unhear it. And
I made Seth listen to it with me.
Oh no. I just wanted to bury it away. I mean, first of all, nobody wants that. You don't ever want anyone to accidentally hear that.
Nope.
But holy shit.
It was so gross.
That is just so wild. That's so wild and great. And you know what? Not very embarrassing for the classy lady who submitted this.
True.
So she's taken this situation and made it her own with karmic retribution. And I love that.
Yes. Yes.
She's weaponizing somebody else's embarrassing story, and I'm here for it.
Yes. Embarrassment by proxy.
Yes. Yes. For sure. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Well, I loved all of this so much.
Me too.
I loved recapping these embarrassing stories. And if you liked listening to them and you have your own that you just want to get off your chest in secret, we will never tell anyone that it's you. Email us your embarrassing stories at artofclassiness@gmail.com. And maybe we'll do this again, you know?
Yeah. Maybe this will inspire some more of our classy ladies to share some of their stories. Maybe this will give them some good inspiration.
Yeah. If nothing else, the best part about enduring humiliation is being able to laugh about it with your friends.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Like, Robin, your story is the perfect example of, for you, because with me, you did tell me relatively close to when it happened. I was like, do not tell anyone about this type of person. And I remember starting to say the sentence, I can't believe you were sitting on that public toilet for an hour, you know what I mean? And you said, stop, I don't even want to think about that. Like, I can't even let my mind go. Like, it was traumatizing to you to even like have to even relive it enough to tell me what happened.
I remember that.
And I was trying my best not to laugh.
Yeah. Because it still wasn't funny to me at that time.
It wasn't funny to you yet. And I knew, like, this is fucking gold. This story is gold. And one day it's going to be funny enough for you to share. And look at you now.
Look at me now.
You're just putting it all out there.
Sharing it literally with the world. The whole world could listen to this now.
Hey, we've got international listenership now. I don't know if you knew. Our Canadian numbers are going up and up every week.
Maybe the Cowboys will give me some free tickets.
Yeah, you deserve a redo.
I
Cowboys, hook us up.
Oh my gosh.
And now you can just fall asleep because they're doing so poorly.
Oh.
You can fall asleep in the stands like everybody else.
Burn.
Burn. Sports jokes.
Okay, moving on. It is time for our class act of the week. And this is where we each take turns highlighting someone in our personal lives or parasocial lives who have done something classy AF. And this week, it is Deborah's turn.
So as I started the episode by sharing, we won our very first podcast award. And that was really such a meaningful moment because we work really hard at this. Robin works 5 times harder at this than I do, but we come together and we create this. It's just such a great, fun, creative outlet for the two of us and such a fun thing to learn about. We're learning about so many things and we are growing this audience. And the reason we're growing this audience is the people who are listening now and have listened since our first episode. It is our broad umbrella of classy ladies spanning from Oregon all the way to Charlotte and so many places in between. And being able to share this with them was so meaningful. You know, our friends were just keeping tabs. Like, you know, my friend Leah called me. She's like, are you driving to the award show right now? And before I was even out of the ceremony, Lauren had texted me like, did you find out what happened? And then I told her, I'm like, yeah, I just found out we won. And she's the one that texted the group chat and was like, you know, they won. And just feeling that visceral support from people who have been our sounding boards, our support systems. And they're the ones who are actively sharing it with their friends and telling other people to listen to it and really helping us build this community brick by brick. It just means so much to me. And happiness is meant to be shared. And so we share all of our happiness with building this podcast with you guys listening. And we just love you so much. And thank you for submitting these stories to us today.
Yes.
Literally are the content of the stories that we share. And the reason that we do this is it's also just fun to share our lives with people we don't get to see every day. So my class act goes to you, listener. Our early day one stands to our recent subscribers. We literally could not do this without you. So thank you.
Aw, yay, that was so good.
Thank you.
It was perfect.
Mean it.
Okay, it's time for Class or Crass, our favorite segment. This is where we give a scenario and discuss whether it is classy or crassy. Here it is. You accidentally text someone the rant you meant to send about them. Is it a messy, crass slip-up or awkward honesty doing the work for you? We have all done this one.
It is such a universal experience. And giving and receiving. Because have you ever gotten a text that wasn't meant for you?
Yep.
That sucks too.
Yep.
And this is why I'm not a big shit talker anyway. Okay. I definitely was in my 20s. We all were.
Yeah.
You know, it was the language of youth is shit talking. But as I've gotten older, I've become more painfully aware of like, would I want the person I'm saying this about to ever find this text? Like, would I want the person that I'm talking about to receive a screenshot of me saying this one day? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I always try to think of that when I am talking about somebody, even if I have every right to be mad or even if I have every right to be upset. Like, I've become aware of this because of those mistakes I've made in the past where it's like you just hit send and it goes to them. Part of me feels like it is kind of karmic retribution literally happening in real time. It's like the Lord's work of being like, oh, well, why don't you tell the class? Is there anything you want to share? You know what I mean? Like,
oh my God. Yes.
Just sort of forcing you to take that accountability. I mean, have you been in that position?
Absolutely. And here's the thing. Sometimes it's not necessarily shit talking. It's like you're talking to another friend about a situation that you need advice on.
Mm-hmm.
And if you accidentally send it to the person you're talking about, like they're immediately going to read it differently.
Right.
And then you try, like, even if you try to be like, no, there's like, you're fucked. You're fucked.
Yeah. So if you are in this situation, you sent a long rant to the person you're talking about. What is the classy way to recover? Is there a classy way to recover?
That's a great question. Don't text your problems. Call someone, man.
Yeah, it's like a good exercise. This is why I also believe that like voice memos can be good because they disappear unless someone like saves them, you know?
Yeah. Also, you can unsend texts now. That's great.
Now you can unsend texts. I know. But then it says Robin has resent or unsent a text.
I would rather that than have a person read something that wasn't meant for them.
Mm-hmm.
I say that like I talk shit about I don't anymore.
I know.
But like you said, in our 20s, we just had a different way of communicating.
Mm-hmm.
Our brains were still growing.
Yeah. And I will say another way that this can present itself, and this is more detrimental, is the work Slack or the works team message.
I've done that.
So yeah, sometimes people are going to find out. I think the classy thing to do is to own it.
Yeah, I agree.
You got to just own it. You got to just say, hey, I was venting to another friend. I'm trying to
process my feelings.
I'm sorry you had to read that. If you can't unsend, right?
You could say something like, well, now that you've read that, I'd like to provide some more context as to like why I'm upset. Like I was trying to talk through this with a friend so that I could organize my thoughts before I came to you. But since that didn't happen, I'm sorry you saw that, but can we talk about it?
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it sucks. And now you've lost all the power. You know what I mean? You've lost all the power in the conflict or in whatever situation that you're in.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's the classy thing to do is you got to own it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, especially if it's a relationship that you value, you know?
Yeah.
I would say it's both. It's a messy, crass slip up, and it is also awkward honesty doing the work for you. It's both.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's life, baby.
That is life, baby. Ugh.
Classy is messy.
Classy is messy. If this episode has taught you nothing else, it's that classy is messy.
Damn straight.
Yeah. Reclaim class, you know?
Yeah. Redefine it, that's in our intro.
Mm-hmm.
We are redefining what it means to be a classy lady, and this episode exposes it all.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah, we've given it a new definition, that's for sure.
So there you have it. Proof that no matter how polished or put together we try to be, life always finds a way to humble us.
Exactly. And honestly, it's these cringe stories that remind us we're all just human. A little messy, a little unfiltered, and sometimes a lot embarrassed.
If you've got your own story that rivals a bathroom nap, a crab walk getaway, or a rogue bidet, please send it to us. We promise to laugh with you, not at you. Well, mostly.
Thanks for hanging with us today, and be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Art of Classiness, and leave us a review if this episode made you laugh, cringe, or text your best friend with a "remember that time."
See you next time. And remember, classy is a state of mind.
So mind your classiness. Bye.